The vast wilderness of America's national parks is a breathtaking expanse of beauty and tranquility, drawing millions of visitors every year. But hidden within these serene landscapes lies a darker, more sinister story, one of unexplained disappearances. These disappearances have haunted families and investigators for decades. They are not just ordinary cases of people getting lost. They're shrouded in strange coincidences, baffling clues, and eerie patterns that defy logic. As we delve into this chilling narrative, remember, the woods hold secrets that may never be uncovered. It begins with a family trip, a group of friends on an adventure, or a solo trekker seeking solitude. The forest welcomes them with its towering trees, whispering winds, and the promise of escape from the chaos of modern life. But then, something goes wrong. A child playing near a campsite vanishes in an instant. A seasoned hiker steps off the trail and is never seen again. Search parties comb the area, often within minutes, only to find no trace, no footprints, no clothing, no clues. It's as if the forest itself has swallowed them whole. One of the most haunting cases is that of a young boy named David, who disappeared while hiking with his family in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It was a sunny afternoon, and David was only a few steps ahead of his parents. When he turned a corner, he vanished. His family immediately called out, their voices echoing through the trees. Within minutes, a massive search effort was underway. Hundreds of volunteers, trained trackers, and even helicopters scoured the area, but David was gone. Days turned into weeks, and still, no trace was found. What's more unsettling is that other hikers in the area reported hearing strange, high-pitched screams that seemed to come from nowhere. This isn't an isolated incident. Across the country, in parks like Yosemite, Rocky Mountain, and Glacier National Park, similar stories unfold. In many cases, the missing person is an experienced outdoorsman or woman. Someone familiar with the terrain, equipped with supplies, and unlikely to wander off the trail. Yet they vanish as if plucked out of existence. When remains are found, they often defy explanation. Shoes are neatly placed miles away from where the person was last seen. Bodies are discovered in areas previously searched or in places so remote and inaccessible that it's impossible to imagine how they got there. The patterns are chilling. Many disappearances occur near bodies of water, large boulders, or dense forests. They often happen in the late afternoon or early evening. The victims are frequently young children or older adults. It's as if something or someone is targeting the vulnerable. These eerie commonalities have led some to speculate about what could be behind these vanishings. Is it the work of a serial predator, hiding in the shadows of the wilderness? Could it be wild animals, though their behavior doesn't typically align with the lack of evidence? Or is it something even more unexplainable, something beyond human understanding? Among the most unsettling theories is the idea of supernatural involvement. Some believe the disappearances are tied to ancient legends of the land. Native American folklore speaks of malevolent spirits and creatures that dwell in the forests, luring unsuspecting travelers to their doom. Stories of skinwalkers, wendigos, and shadowy figures have been passed down through generations, warning of the dangers lurking in the woods. Could these tales hold a grain of truth? Others point to the phenomenon of missing time and alien abductions. Witnesses in some cases have reported seeing strange lights in the sky or hearing unearthly sounds before a person vanished. These accounts are often dismissed as fabrications or the result of hysteria, but the consistency of the reports is hard to ignore. Could it be that the answers lie not in the forest, but beyond the stars? Skeptics argue that these disappearances can be explained by natural causes, hypothermia, accidents, or animal attacks. But even they admit that certain details defy logic. How does a child travel miles over rugged terrain, barefoot, in freezing temperatures? How does an experienced hiker end up in a ravine with no clear path leading there? The lack of evidence, the absence of tracks, and the peculiar placement of belongings challenge even the most rational explanations. Take the case of Paula, a 23-year-old college student who disappeared in the Green Mountain National Forest in Vermont. Paula was an experienced hiker, familiar with the trails, and well prepared for her journey. She was last seen heading into the woods on a bright autumn day. When she failed to return, a search was launched, but no trace of her was ever found. Years later, a single shoe matching Paula's size was discovered miles away from her last known location. It was in a place so remote that it seemed impossible for her to have reached it. The families of the missing are left with more questions than answers. They live in a state of perpetual grief, haunted by the uncertainty of what happened to their loved ones. Some turn to psychics or paranormal investigators in a desperate bid for closure. Others become advocates, pushing for better safety measures and more thorough investigations in the parks. But the questions remain. Why do these disappearances happen? Why are the patterns so eerily similar? And why, despite advances in technology and search techniques, do so many cases remain unsolved? Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of these disappearances is the silence of the authorities. National park officials are often reluctant to discuss the cases, citing privacy concerns. They also mention the difficulty of tracking data across such vast territories. This has led to speculation about whether there's a deliberate effort to downplay the phenomenon. Some believe it is to avoid public panic or to protect the lucrative tourism industry. Some even believe there's a more sinister reason, that the parks are hiding a secret they don't want the world to know. The truth is, the wilderness is a place of both beauty and danger. It offers solace and adventure, but it also holds the power to humble and terrify. For those who enter its depths, it's a reminder that we are not the masters of this earth. We are visitors, and the forest keeps its secrets well. As we conclude this chilling tale, we are left with a sobering thought. The next time you step into the woods, take a moment to listen. To the rustling leaves, the distant calls of wildlife, and the eerie silence that sometimes falls. You may feel the weight of unseen eyes watching, or the subtle shift of the air around you. The forest is alive, and it remembers. Will you be one of the lucky ones who return, or will you become another story, another name whispered in the dark? America's national parks are a treasure, a symbol of the wild and untamed beauty of the natural world. But they are also a reminder of how little we truly understand. The woods are vast, ancient, and indifferent to our presence, and within their shadows the mystery of the missing lingers, unsolved and haunting.